Thrawn.
For some, war. For others, a new beginning.
And for us.
That was meant
Power.
for the Star Wars fans. Hello there, welcome back to my channel. My name is SKYMAN Universe, and your Star Wars quote for today: I'm no Jedi. So if you're here at the moment, by chance you probably just come straight from my previous reaction, so whatever I said then for the introduction and how I feel about everything so far is just in the video previous to this. But on episode 2 now, we can speculate. So Sabine had just been, you know, the deed has been done, she's just been Qui-Gon basically. But obviously she's got to survive this purely because we see it later on in the trailer and the hair gets cut short again. Unless it was a flashback, mind you. So then that would be quite tragic. But the whole storyline, getting Ezra back, getting Thrawn back, like we knew it was going to happen, but it's sort of seeing, we don't know, it's seeing how this is going to happen. To leave it on a cliffhanger like that, that's huge. I wouldn't have expected that even go in that direction. But like I said, it's very much Rebels season 3. I don't even remember how many seasons there were for Rebels, but it's basically a continuation of Rebels, which I really like. And it's that you just don't know, you can't differentiate, like that there's been even a change in the format from animation to live action. It's this weird thing, your brain has just fully accepted it. And I think there's just, for me, the music, it's like musically it's a continuation. You hear the same melodies and motifs sort of dotted around there as well, which is really nice. But also it's a Dave Filoni style. You can take that same sort of approach, not to as much as a degree you can in animation, but you can obviously implement that in live action. And there's got to be some techniques he's used from there, for like directing, to like camera angles maybe to do here in Ahsoka. So there's that solid connection which you feel, which I've certainly felt with the first episode. So I don't even know what the title is. I have no idea what to expect. It's just the fact that they've opened the key. Maybe this could be something end with Thrawn or something like that, which would be awesome. I really hope they don't do a Moff Gideon in season 3 episode Mandalorian. In the final episodes when Moff Gideon shows up, I'm hoping Thrawn gets seen as soon as possible, so he can be, his character can be fully developed and interesting things can happen, and then the real formidable opponents there keeps the story going, keeps it interesting, in my opinion. Plus I'm secretly dying to see Thrawn there as well, to hear his voice and then to see him in live action. That's going to hit on another scale, which I think is going to be really sort of sinister awesome, which I can't wait for. But it's this series, or like the episode, I mean part 1, has already hit me in a very nice, it's landed with me in a very nice way. So let me know all of your thoughts for the first episode. I want to know everything that you thought of this. Has it lived up to expectations? Is there certain things that you really wanted to see in this episode? Kind of just a slight flashback with Anakin and Ahsoka could have been sprinkled in there, but anything that you thought would have been cool, or your favourite bits in there, let me know in the comments. You know I love reading them all and going through all your Star Wars thoughts and knowledge, which has been process down there.
I think I know how to find Ezra. Can I take this?
Ezra
I'm not sure that's
Bridger.
a good idea. Why?
That episode
This isn't just about finding Ezra.
Rebels with the Emperor and Ezra
It's
and
about preventing
Palpatine.
another war.
That is one of the reasons why Rebels was just so incredible. I should really react and watch it all over again.
She took the map.
But yeah, even
Off
seeing
the
the
ship
Thor
when I
on here as
explicitly
well,
told her not to.
it's just so, it's magical. That's what it is. For me anyway, it's really nice to see it all in action. The lightsabers look really cool as well. Poor Qui-Gon. Don't tell me those damn modders have been here.
The droids. They took the map. There were two galaxies, and then a pathway appeared between them.
Two galaxies.
Where did the path in our galaxy begin?
A whole galaxy.
They took the map before I could decipher it.
A whole galaxy.
Did you keep a record of what you found?
That could mean...
The droids destroyed it.
A whole galaxy. Well...
How many droids were there?
I love that they're still flying around in the Jedi shuttle. It's like the ultimate trolling, really. He does look really cool. Rayman. He looks really cool. Just nice title. It's just the potential which I see, like, with this show. There's so much that can happen here. I wonder if the Jedi Temple is still under Thor, or if it was completely destroyed by the Empire. I do love Ezra's theme.
I was hoping you were still here.
Be able to work with it.
Are you sure you're up to this?
Like me.
I'm sorry, but I think every time I see Sabine now,
Incredibly resilient.
I'm getting Qui-Gon Jinn flashbacks all over again.
Arm.
He could have been
leg,
sick.
it just keeps.
Pull the plug before it gets to that.
Perhaps we should perform this operation somewhere else.
I say go for it.
Because you're a hologram.
There's no time to relocate.
Fine. I'm pulling the plug.
Oh, wait!
What is it?
This droid came here from Corellia.
The New Republic shipyard?
Morgan Elspeth.
Her Imperial operation should have been dismantled after the rebellion.
Anyone check on that?
I'll meet you there.
No, you need to recover.
I'm fine.
Now get some rest. You're gonna need it.
You have a big day ahead of you tomorrow. Sleep well, honey.
Thanks, Sarah.
Obi-Wan.
Anytime.
You find Thrawn.
For some, war. For others, a new beginning.
And for us.
That was meant
Power,
for the Star Wars fans.
such as you've never dreamed.
Oh my gosh, was
Go to
that
Corellia.
just
Marok
like
the final transport.
Yes, Master.
seriously? Is that literally directed for the fans? Like, I might be thinking too deep into it, but for some war, for others a new beginning. Oh, I hope it's a new beginning. Well, that's pretty awesome. But no one wants to see an Imperial Star Destroyer grave. Oh dear. We're teased of the ghost again.
I could make this a more formal inspection if you'd like.
That won't be necessary, General. This way.
Here he is.
This was one of Morgan's facilities.
And that was it.
Materials used in the construction of hyperdrives. They have loyalty so long as they're paid.
And you?
Yeah, I'm getting paid and I'm doing this work for the New Republic. But I'm secretly doing all this work for the Imperials. But I'm getting paid, that's what they think anyway.
I'm curious. What makes someone ready?
You just know. So do they.
Who will never be ready and never be fully ready. I suppose Qui-Gon was done there. She was done
I
down
heard your
there.
repairs were complete. Ah, I see you still have your lightsaber.
Ezra's lightsaber.
True, he constructed it, and by all accounts it served him well.
Did me?
Have you kept up with your training?
Obviously not.
Well, perhaps it is time to begin again.
I don't think that's up to me.
Really? Is your own?
I thought I was going to break into the Force theme, and that would have got me. I felt it.
We find a use for everything in many different sectors. Profits generated from a
I
single
love
Star
it. It's pretty
Destroyer.
much an Imperial Star Destroyer bridge.
That, General. They've been cleared for departure.
I said stop that ship. That's an order.
For the Empire!
Man, it feels like we're watching Rebels. I love the Inquisitors and medieval government. It's awesome. I love it.
Keep your lid on, Chop.
Please use helicopter. Inquisitor lightsaber. It's so good. Maybe that Inquisitor's Barris. How many times are we going to see that Loth cat? There she is. Now that's a face I didn't think we'd see on the show for a long time.
Calculations are complete. You may proceed.
Take us out. Padawan.
How embarrassing. Good. No, that's a shame because I thought Dave Filoni was directing all of it and writing all of it. I don't know why that disappoints me a little bit, knowing that Dave Filoni isn't directing them all. I thought he was directing all of them and he was doing this entire series. Now, he might have written it, but I was really hoping that there'd be that same sort of feel throughout the whole series, and that's what I was getting excited about, because it feels like it's one vision, like a George Lucas project, so to speak. I can see why these two episodes probably were intertwined and they released the first two, part 1 and then part 2 there as well, because I wouldn't say massive things happened in part 2. I could see why they showing both 1 and 2, because I feel like if we waited a week to see part 2, perhaps you wouldn't have felt as satisfied. I don't think I would have. I think I would have wanted a bit more, and then that sort of slow pace of a TV show felt very more present in this one, as opposed to the first one, where the sort of slowish pace felt relevant for the characters, but it needed just to speed up, I think, a little bit more now. But I mean, it still showed a lot, and seeing Chopper in there as well, and we haven't quite seen the Ghost, but see it in its full glory, and not just the shuttle, then yeah, in the Phantom, that's going to be so good. And it makes you wonder, well, maybe Seb might have something to do with that at the moment, but that moment, you know, it's going to happen. It's got to happen at some point in this series, where Zeb turns up, Chopper is there, Hera is there, and Sabine walks in, and they're there like looking at each other. That's going to hit me really hard, because Rebels is something which is very nostalgic to me, and I really grew to love it so much, and it's such a great series. So to have that moment implemented in live action will be really nice. I am slightly concerned with the whole bringing Thrawn back. I don't know if Ahsoka is going to have season 2. I can't remember if I read that or not. If she does, then it's, yeah, Thrawn will probably be used sparingly in this one. And knowing how Dave Filoni keeps secrets, maybe it could be just held off a little bit. But I don't think that worked very well for The Mandalorian at all, because it felt like this story which we just felt like you really wanted to push it to go forward, and it kept going just to different tangents, and it wasn't really going anywhere. It was just, it felt like it was filling up with unnecessary things when you've got such important things happening. With the hyperspace, the hyperdrive thing here, with the big ring, I don't know what it is. They're going for something new, but is it more feeling like it could be something else? Star Trek? I'm not sure. But I like the big design of the ring, but then that sort of reminds me of the Infinity War with Thor and the full force of the star, that scene. But I get that there's massive hyperdrive. It's going to take them to another galaxy or something, which is really cool, and it's got to be something a bit different. Whether a Night Sister should be in charge of something, which can, like if it was Mother Talzin, then I'd understand, but just a Night Sister in control of this powerful thing, I feel like perhaps it should have been Balin who should be the main antagonist here, or the driving force for it, because Ahsoka beat that woman with the stick, the Mandalorian staff in Mandalorian, and that, I think, was the end of that character. And I wouldn't say that was one of the best episodes. For Ahsoka it was, but for the antagonist, I don't think she was just a bit meh. The actress is awesome, it's just the character is a bit meh for me. I don't know why, whereas Balin has a sort of presence, and the fact that he said there at the end as well, such a shame, and there's so few Jedi. No Sith would say that, or Dark Force user. So there's already an interesting take on this character who understands things and has a different way of looking at things, because, you know, Count Dooku would never say that. He would understand a lot. Count Dooku was very wise until the point of corruption, but he would always want the extermination of the Jedi when he became full-blown Sith. I mean, that's just the dark side taking over, and if you're a dark side user, then usually your thoughts align with that as well. So the fact that he hasn't got this, though he's got a red lightsaber, yeah, it's very interesting. I feel like someone who has a lot of mystery would be more suited to sort of leading this. I thought he was just aligned with the Night Sister, and then she was sort of paying him, but he's just going to betray her anyway, because he's got his own motives and agenda, hence why he's speaking directly to his apprentice, and she's asking him, like when she says do this, and then the apprentice is like, should we do this? So it's like the loyalties don't really align very well. So that's why those two characters, the master and apprentice, would be much more compelling to find Thrawn as opposed to a Night Sister, because a Night Sister, I thought their loyalties just lie purely with Night Sisters, apart from Asajj Ventress, but she became a Sith, went beyond being a Night Sister, and when she turned good again, then I assume that gave her clarity, and that was a good reason why she didn't really become a Night Sister again, because she's got the Force. But once you're a Night Sister, I just thought, you're a Night Sister, and your orders are on Dathomir and for other Night Sisters, and you wouldn't really care much for the Empire, for sure. So, yeah, that's just my reasoning behind who should be fronting this. Yeah, I think Balin would have been pretty cool, but obviously knowing what happened to Rey, the actor, I kind of want that a little bit more now. But still, I think this show's heading in a great direction. I think there's lots of things to be said, but then I can't help starting to get the vibes of the New Republic, the creepy New Republic in Andor. And New Republic just came across really odd and strange, and like the people who were betraying it. And I don't know why, there's something off about all of the New Republic in Andor. I don't know if it was aesthetically, but it was that mind-probing thing they did, and I was starting getting a little bit of glimmer of that in here. I don't know if it was the casting or something, or if it was the set. There was just something which gave me that sort of uneasy edge about it. There's that slight thing, it's only minor, but it's sort of borderline where it doesn't feel like it's right on the precipice of it being Ahsoka's show or Sabine's show at the moment. And I know at the moment now she's become her Padawan, which is awesome. They're obviously going to be closely aligned, but I would have liked slight more emphasis or following Ahsoka around a bit more, especially on these first episodes, because I feel like we've really focused in on Sabine, and I really want to focus in on Ahsoka. Like, this is called Ahsoka. It's like the Obi-Wan Kenobi show where it's young Leia, when we all thought, if anything, we'd get young Luke, and we didn't. So it's kind of, I don't know if that's a higher up decision, I'm not sure, but I would have loved just a slight more focus on what Ahsoka's thinking at this time. And even when she was speaking to David Tennant, the droid, those are the moments which I think work really well, to know what she's thinking and how they're talking to one another, and to know her thoughts, because we need to know these things right now, because she's gone through one hell of a lot. So to know her thoughts for progressing forward is very important. But yeah, I think this show's got great potential. The first chapter of part 1, not episode, not chapter, it's part 1 now, was very nice. Part 2, not as good as the first one, but still very nice, but it opens up a gateway. But my only concern, like I said, is is not bringing Thoron back sooner rather than later. He needs to come back soon, and to have as well another galaxy which just infinite things could be happening there. Maybe, I don't know, it's just, you can go bonkers with theories of like, oh, maybe there was a Snoke, or maybe that's where Palpatine is now, maybe another empire has been built there, or maybe the First Order's there. So many things can happen there, and then Thrawn leads the front and brings it all back, and channels it all through to this galaxy. And yeah, it just, I don't know how they could do that, because if you've got another galaxy there, it could be completely different to this one. And then how far do you go beyond Star Wars? Like, I like that it's creating something new, but you've got to be damn careful, as well, to make sure it all fits in there. So I think when it's if they go to the Veil of the Force thing, I think there would be a lot of useful things which would make me feel a lot more easy about what's going on, because everything feels so far in the air right now, and to know what to expect, you can't speculate or anything like that, and that's what I find really strange. Maybe you could let me know what your speculative thoughts are down below, and where on earth that you think this is going. Obviously with Thrawn coming back, but with what implications does that hold for us and Ahsoka? It's very interesting, and yeah, and the style as well. Let me know what you think of the style of this, because I think there's some really nice aesthetically. Lothal looks amazing, looks so beautiful, and I love it so much. But then the shipyard didn't. It looked like a standard set, in the Oculus thing or something. So yeah, there's like I started to see a difference in this chapter, part 2, for God's sake. But yeah, let me know all your thoughts down below. I'm so happy we're back in this episode watching thing again each week. Honestly, I love it so much. It's so much fun. But yeah, let me know everything that you thought, what you thought of this episode, where you think it's going, and what you'd like to see. Hope you enjoyed this part 2 reaction. Subscribe for future reactions. I'll see you next week. Take care of yourself, and remember, the Force will be with you always.